Welcome to The Voice of Retail. I'm your host, Michael LeBlanc. This podcast is brought to you in conjunction with Retail Council of Canada. In this special episode, an interview I've been looking forward to for a long time. A Canadian business icon, exceptional citizen, and one of the world's most respected entertainment operators, Ellis Jacob, CEO, Cineplex. We chat briefly about his origin story and spend lots of time talking about the state of the entertainment and movie industry, what innovation looks like in theaters across Canada, and how the changes brought on by the COVID era will forever shape the strategy of Cineplex. Last but certainly not least, I couldn't miss the opportunity to ask Ellis about the incredible rise and success of the Scene Plus loyalty program, what it means to the Cineplex business, and the big news around the tie-up with Sobeys.
Look, we've learned a lot during COVID, and we've actually made some major inroads, especially with the use of data, because it's given us the opportunity, and with our Scene program and all of the other ways that we can communicate with our guests, it really allows us a lot of flexibility as we move forward.
Let's listen in now. Ellis, welcome to the Voice of Retail podcast. How are you doing this morning?
Great, thank you. I had a great weekend at the box office, so happy about that.
Well, I guess we just need Tom Cruise to continue to make great movies, right? What's your favorite movie released so far this summer? Is it, I guess your favorite is the one that's pulling the best numbers, but they all seem to be doing pretty good.
Yeah, Top Gun was phenomenal, and it's done a lot of business for us. And this past weekend, we had Minions, which worked extremely well with the younger audiences. And we're quite excited about Thor, which is coming out this week.
I want to get to a little bit more about the movie business a little later on. Let's start with you. I can't imagine there's many people listening in this country who would not know of you. They might not know everything, and I've got a bit of an international audience. So give us a bit of background about yourself and a role in the international business community and Canada and what you do and where you came from.
Yeah, so I was born in Calcutta, India. And I arrived in Canada. I came for my sister's wedding, and that was in 1969. And basically thought Canada was a great country and wanted to stay, and did some educating. I went to McGill for my undergrad, did my CAs in Quebec, and then moved to Ontario for my master's, and then started at Ford Motor Company, moved on to Motorola, where I had some connections at Ford and Motorola, and then moved with the individual I reported to there to Cineplex Odeon in 1987. And I've been in the movie entertainment business for the last 35 years, so it's something I enjoy, and it's been great, and really, feel very confident about it.
Oh, fantastic. Now, you did skip over a couple of little things. You both have the Order of Canada and the Order of Ontario, right? So you've had tremendous contributions to the country and to the province, so thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. And a lot of that has to do with the awesome team I have, built this business with, and everything that we've been able to accomplish together.
So likewise, hard to find anybody in Canada doesn't know the name Cineplex, but often they don't entirely know the scope and scale, the number of theaters and seats, and then you've got other parts of the business that you've got set up, including some commercial side. So take us through for a few minutes about the scope and scale of Cineplex.
Yeah, Cineplex is a very diversified entertainment company. We basically, our big business is the movie exhibition business. And, we've got between our movie theaters and our entertainment venues close to 170 locations. We've got 10 locations of the Rec Room and 3 locations of Palladium. And we also have businesses in digital commerce with the Cineplex Store, alternative programming with Cineplex Events, cinema media with Cineplex Media, and film distribution with Cineplex Pictures. And then we also have the digital place-based media, which is Cineplex Digital Media. And finally, Amusement Solutions, which is Player One Amusement Group. And we also have one of the leading loyalty programs and entertainment loyalty programs in Canada called Scene Plus.
It's a big enterprise, right? I mean, you're coast to coast. It's a very big enterprise. It's surprisingly diverse. And in that regard. And I want to get to this talk about seeing some more. That's some interesting developments. So let's this podcast isn't a history lesson, but let's talk about past couple of years, the COVID era, and not to dwell on the history of it or the past. But I'm wondering, as you reflect on the past couple of years, and we're still kind of not quite past it yet, I've been thinking about these changes that are more structural than temporary, temporary accommodations to a weird time in our lives. How are you thinking around any changes to business and how you do business because of the COVID era, things that are more structural that might stick around, more business strategy, so to speak?
Look, we've learned a lot during COVID, and we've actually made some major inroads, especially with the use of data, because it's given us the opportunity, and with our scene program and all of the other ways that we can communicate with our guests, it really allows us a lot of flexibility as we move forward. And to give you an example of that is, say we look at films from other parts of the world. Now we can actually pinpoint which theaters these films are going to work and how strong they're going to be. And in some cases, we have locations where the theaters actually in their local content outgross the Hollywood content and do extremely well for us. And that's a whole area where we are going to continue to focus and grow as we move forward. And that's, we've got the scene program, we've got Cine Club, which, members love. It's a monthly subscription program, and it really provides an overall benefit to our guest. And the other thing we've done as a company, we continue to increase the number of experiences. In the old days when I started, you could see a movie in 2D and that was it. Today, you can see a movie in close to 8 different ways at our theaters. And our guests love those experiences because you can't replicate it on your TV at home. And to me, that's a big change in what's happened in the last number of years.
Unpack for me a little bit the membership, the monthly membership. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so Cine Club is a program where you basically, pay $9.99 and you get to see a movie every month. And if you miss a month because you're away traveling, you can basically use it the next month. So you never lose the benefit of that ticket you have. And you can also bring other members with you as you've come to enjoy the program. It's something that, you can continue to use. And we did it because we want to drive attendance. We want to increase the movie-going frequency. And we want to provide our guests with an exceptional entertainment experience.
Well, you give me a nice segue into talking about the movie business, the entertainment business itself. I mean, tremendous change, certainly over the course of your career, but also recently, perhaps accelerated by the COVID era. We saw, a few changes happening. So many people are watching movies at home. Some of the big studios, we're playing around with launch dates and what do you call it in the industry, windowing and different things like that. Talk about the future Cineplex movie in the entertainment business. It's been a good summer. People are back in the theaters. No doubt, though, it's changed, again, over the course of your career, and no doubt there's been some acceleration with this menu of choice. How do you think about that?
Look, I remember when I, started the Galaxy Theater chain, and everybody said, DVDs are here, you're bad going into this business, it's a bad idea. And you know what actually happened is the attendance went up. The reason is people became more aware of movies and they wanted to see it in a social environment, and the big screen provided them with that great experience. And today I think it's no different. Yes, we've had studios that have experimented with, the shortening of windows and trying to come out with movies day and date. And what they've seen is basically it actually hurts them from a business perspective because, they don't get the benefit of the theater, number one. And I always say the movie business is the engine that drives the train. So it increases the awareness of the product and then helps in the ancillaries as they move into the future, whether it's from, merchandising to seeing the movie at home or to any other areas of theme parks and things like that. but we are going to be that important ingredient as part of the overall experience for the distributors that, come up with these movies right across the world.
Do you find that there's a curation role? In other words, you have a group of talented people who look at all the movies. I mean, I'm sure you're presented, I don't know, thousands of movies, but, you can't play thousands of movies. So there's a curation role. And that in and of itself sends a signal to audiences. Is that still the case? And is that, again, part of the framework, how you approach what you're going to put on the screen?
Well, we look at all of the movies, and the studios know which ones they do, viewing surveys to see which ones are going to be most relevant in the big screen. And those are the ones that they focus on providing us as we move forward. Like, after watching Top Gun, and I've seen it twice in the last month, the bottom line is I wouldn't want to watch that movie at home. I think it would be, not an experience that I'd enjoy. And I think being in a group and watching it as part of, an overall social experience is phenomenal, because you're excited together and you're, seeing all of the different focuses. And Tom Cruise does a great job in the film of, promoting the whole success story of what he's able to achieve.
Let's talk about innovation in the movie theater and in-person entertainment business. What does that look like? Does it look, in retail, we're talking about a spot to win in a bifurcated market between, very highly efficient consumption, or in retail kind of distribution, versus, experiential, highly entertaining. Talk about your vision. You're already introducing innovation with your membership club. But talk about what that looks like in the future of cinema as a entertainment ecosystem.
Look, as I said before, it's all about providing our guests with an enhanced experience and an experience they cannot replicate at home. And to me, that's absolutely critical. And, providing them with the most advanced technology to create an experience that, far exceeds anything that they could enjoy anywhere else. Mm-hmm. And as I talked about, you can go to the movie theater today and watch a movie in Ultra AVX. We could watch it in the VIP cinemas. You can do it in 3D, 4DX, ScreenX, IMAX, D-Box. There's many different ways to watch a movie. And I always say, when I did, Undercover Boss, and I was working at the box office, and a gentleman and his son came up to the ticket wicket, and he said to me, I said, what movie would you like to watch? He says, what's playing in Ultra AVX? So there is a desire to actually have those experiences and watch the movies in those formats. And to me, that's going to continue to evolve as we move forward. And more of our guests we see are actually signing up for those experiences. And they're the first tickets to sell when we open a film.
Let's talk about Scene Plus. I was in the loyalty business back with Hudson's Bay and even back to Zellers and this Club Z program, and all the way back to OG in kind of terms of loyalty. When Scene Plus launched, it looked like a niche kind of program. And even I was reading somewhere in the news when you announced the news with the tie-up with Empire and Sobeys, the little program that could be, and look what it's become. So did you ever imagine Scene Plus would grow to be this kind of, it's a coalition program that's on par with many now. It's an impressive achievement. What's led to its success? And talk a little bit more about the tie-up and the deal with Empire, the Sobeys group.
Yeah, and if you asked me when we first set up the program, 15 odd years ago, whether we'd be over 10 million, members, I would have said, hey, that's, a good thought, but I don't think we'll get there. But now we are way over that mark. And with the coalition with Scotiabank and Sobeys, I think the program is going to continue to grow and be very strong. And it will be, we are the biggest entertainment program. I think we're going to one of these days become the biggest loyalty program for Canadians. And what we've done is it's easy to earn and it's easy to redeem. And that to me is very critical for our guests and our users right across.
Yeah, any success to any loyalty program, earning and burning, right? Make it easy. But 10 million, I mean, it's an amazing number when you think about, what is there, 18, 19 million adult Canadians, right? It's an amazing achievement. How did the deal come together with Empire? Was it like-minded individuals and you just saw the opportunity to expand? Speak a bit more of that.
Well, it's, looking at the overall value of the program, the relationship with, Scotiabank, the relationship with Sobeys, Mike Medline, and, a long relationship we had with, the family and all of the different components within the group.
Right.
So I feel that it's something that will continue to, move forward. And the pandemic, really improved the opportunity as we looked at all of the things we've done. And I don't know if Mike spoke to you when we were shut down with the pandemic. We actually sent a number of our employees over to Sobeys, and they worked there while we were in, a closed situation.
So a nice tie-up. And again, it gets back all the way back to the first part of your conversation around innovation, around data, right? What makes it different? Because it allows you to do that kind of, what you were describing, that customization, who sees what when, right? As opposed to a scattering. And that's probably been the biggest change, I would suspect. I mean, there's technology changes in how movies are presented, but that's probably been a pretty big change in your career, yeah?
Yeah, and it's great because, we are one of the few companies in the exhibition business that can do that, because we've really worked on it for quite a, significant period of time. And I remember when we first set it up, everybody says, you have a pretty reasonable market share. What do you need a loyalty program for? And today it's probably one of the most important assets that we have. And the same holds true for, Scotiabank. And I'm sure when Sobeys becomes part of the overall, it's going to be quite exciting moving forward.
Well, last question for you, and I wrote this question actually before the Scene deal was announced. What's next for Cineplex? As if there needs to be more next beyond this, the fall, coming up the fall and the growth of the program. But what does the next 18 months look like for you?
Well, we are excited about, continuing with our diversification. I talked to you about the rec rooms, the Palladiums, and we also have, Junction, which is a concept that will be, opening up very shortly, which really combines a number of the strong facets of the different parts of the business, from the cinemas to the rec rooms to, the Palladiums, and making them all part of the same, overall experience. And then we have Cineplex Digital Media, which also is an important asset that, is beneficial right across North America. And we have a number of our peers in the U.S. that use us to supply them with the digital signage in their locations.
Well, fantastic. Well, it was a real treat to get to talk to you. I've long admired your work, but we've never had the chance to meet, so that's a really treat for me. And thanks for taking the opportunity out of a no doubt busy day to connect. And I wanted to wish you continued success and a great rest of your day. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Thank you very much for your time, and looking forward to meeting you soon.
Thanks for tuning into this special episode of The Voice of Retail. If you haven't already, be sure and click and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so new episodes will land automatically twice a week. And check out my other retail industry media properties, the Remarkable Retail Podcast, Conversations with Commerce Next podcast, and the Food Professor podcast with Dr. Sylvain Charlebois. Last but not least, if you're into barbecue, check out my all-new YouTube barbecue show, Last Request Barbecue, with new episodes each and every week. I'm your host, Michael LeBlanc, president of M.E. LeBlanc Company and Maven Media. And if you're looking for more content or want to chat, follow me on LinkedIn or visit my website at meleblanc.co. Have a safe week, everyone.